Hello everyone. Welcome to another session on essay writing. Today we're going to talk to you about how to write a conclusion. And so we've talked about the introduction, how we formulated a thesis from a question. We talked about how to make a main body paragraph using the acronym of a seal, not a real seal, but it's an image to represent the components of a main body paragraph. Now, the conclusion. If you remember the introduction, we started off with some sort of a general statement, and then we had a thesis, and then we were going to talk about how we're going to prove it, so an overview of our examples. Well, the conclusion is very much that in reverse, where you start off with some sort of summary of your examples. Let me read to you what a conclusion is supposed to be. This one says here, the purpose of a conclusion is to tie together or integrate the various issues, research covered in the body of the paper, and to make comments upon the meaning of it all. So what that means basically is it's a summary where you don't say anything new, as in no new examples. It's a synthesis. Synthesis means you tie in all your examples together. And so you would summarize as can be seen. So in other words, in the introduction you say what you're going to do. In the conclusion you simply say what you've done. And so you summarize your examples. Don't have new ones. It's sort of, you put them all together. I'm not a big fan of in conclusion. You don't have to start your conclusion with that. It's a new paragraph. And as can be seen from the number of obstacles that Bilbo Baggins faced, the plethora of obstacles, it still did not deter his desire to persevere, ultimately gaining his treasure. So it's a summary of the examples. Then you simply restate your thesis. Okay, so again, the thesis is so important, and it'd be good to be able to say your thesis perhaps in different wording, not exactly the same repetitious sentence, but maybe have it in different words. And then what I like to call the deep and meaningful. You give purpose to your essay. What was the point of it? And so some sort of big, like hopefully you started off big, kind of like the hourglass or a pyramid, you know, or reverse pyramid, as in you start off really big and you work your way to the specific examples, then back out to this giant sort of, isn't it great that we have these wonderful texts to explore aspects of the human condition, perhaps suggesting that we have within us all the ability to be a hero, or whatever you're saying. So some sort of deep and meaningful in your conclusion. There's kind of like what I call the full circle essay. So imagine you started with something, talking about, I don't know, some topic, and then you use your example to be specific on that topic. Well, then you'd come back to how you started. If you quoted somebody, if you started with a quote from Abraham Lincoln or somebody, and you come back to that Lincoln comment, or whoever you might be quoting, from Aristotle to Plato. So if you're starting with something big, specific thesis, example, blah, 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 then the conclusion, where you end it with something deep. Okay? That's basically it for today. I will provide you with a specific example of that, as in we can write them out, and I'll do that in a PowerPoint. I'll put that on the next one. But that's it. Okay? So you summarize your examples, not a new one. You restate your thesis, and you end with something important. There was a point to your essay, and what I call it deep and meaningful. Okay, that's it for today. Thank you very much, and we'll see you next time.